بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. In this session, with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we reach to the sixth stage or the sixth station of our discussion concerning reaching out, how to reach out to others. We'd like to discover more of the secrets concerning success in giving dawah to others, how to be successful in reaching out to others. Let's find more about these secrets. The first point is we have to prepare and plan. We got to prepare our materials, our programs, our projects for da'wah. And we got to plan well, to have a clear vision about what we want to reach. So our goal is to give this message to all mankind. This is part of our planning, to give this peaceful message of Islam to all mankind. So we have to put, goals and strategies to reach. I told you about what they teach in planning. They say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Who can say that again?
If you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Great. So if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Next, another secret. Time is very important. Timing, to be punctual, to respect time with others, and to give a good impression. For example, when you have a meeting or a discussion with a non-Muslim, you got to be on time, if not before time. They say in time management, a professor called Brian Tracy, a professor in this field, says, if you are not early, you are late. If you are not early, you are late.
Yes.
So you got to be there early. So you can prepare yourself. You can, if you want to give a presentation, you can check all things, the equipment, the setting, the audience. So you discover more about your audience, their names and their backgrounds. And this is a good thing to do, to respect our time and to be before time. Not on time, but before time. Let me give you this quick example. A couple of months ago, I went to give a presentation. It was in a big hospital. There were about 200 doctors and nurses attending that lecture. So I came before time just to prepare the whole thing, to connect, the connections, to put the LCD, the data show, and my, PC was with me. I was checking the place. I was asking the coordinator about the sound. Do you have wireless mics? Do you have this? Do you have that? At that time, before the lecture, some doctors and some nurses came in. So I started knowing more about them. So I asked them about their names. What's your name, please? They said, Dr. Raymond, Dr. Johnson, Sarah, Stacy, Mary. So I knew something about my audience. So I was talking with Dr. Raymond, one of them. He was sitting in the first row. So I was just chatting with him. How are you, Dr. Raymond? For how long have you been here in this country? He said, I'm here for 13 years. So I was chatting with him before I start. When I started my presentation, I referred to Dr. Raymond. I would like to thank you, my dear audience, for attending. Dr. Raymond is here for about 13 years. And I would like to ask Mr. Raymond, Dr. Raymond, please, what is the meaning of Allah? He said, Allah is the God of Arabs. Anyhow, the point I would like to stress here is that when you come early, when you are early, you go there in good timing. You have enough time to prepare, to know more about your audience, the people you are going to talk to. Or even if you talk to a certain person, one person, for example, you have an appointment with him in the coffee shop or in that office. So try to be there before the time of your appointment. This gives what? This shows what?
Respect of time.
Respect.
Kind of respect.
And it gives a good
First
impression
Impression.
that Muslims
Yes.
respect time. They are on time. Nowadays, as you know, sadly speaking, they say, Inshallah, and they say, some non-Muslims, Inshallah means you will not come. Believe me. I met a British person, he said, I know, when you say Inshallah, mostly I will not come. Why? Because of the way we treat with time and appointments. We do not respect, mostly do not respect timing or the time. So we have to take care of time. If you are not early,
You are late.
you are late. Let me go to another secret, another element for success. That is good appearance. When you go to others, when you approach others, and they look at you, they will evaluate you. They say, those studies, there are some studies concerning the first impression, they say, within 3 or 4 seconds, they give you a judgment, they give you a label. Within 3 to 4 seconds, you look at a person, when you first meet him, you look at him from head to toe, and you give a certain judgment about him, right?
Yes.
So, you represent who? What? You represent what?
Islam.
We represent
Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Yes.
So, we have to have good appearance, be in good shape. You represent Islam. So some who, they say that we are da'iyas, some, or mashayikh or sheikh, and they think that Islam means to be dirty, to be not clean.
No.
They smell bad smell sometimes, or they do not comb their hair or arrange themselves. And those people might get a bad and a negative what? Perception
Yes.
about Islam and Muslims. Look at them. They are dirty. Muslims are this or that. Do you want to have this label or this judgment given to all Muslims? And as you see, brothers, nowadays we are all accused of being terrorists because of handful people. Small number, but some will generate or over-generate, overstate that all Muslims or the majority of Muslims are terrorists. This is not fair. So you have to dress well, dress properly. Another point, another secret of success. By the way, these secrets we can, we can follow in our everyday life. To be successful in your work, in your study, in your relationship with others, you need these secrets. Be creative. Be creative, interesting, and updating. So let's try our best, my dear brothers, my dear viewers. Let's try our best to be creative in presenting Islam. Some of us might think that introducing Islam, just what you can do is just sit down and talk about the basics, that's all, without being creative. Some might resist using the high tech, using multimedia. Some might keep repeating himself for the last 20 years or 30 years, repeating the same address, the same way he speaks. You find some of his speeches or some of his sermons the same. No difference. Even the tone, the pitch, the intonation, the way he speaks, no change. He is still as is. No improvement. After 20 years, he is still keeping saying or repeating same actions. So we have to be creative. We have to update ourselves. We have to update our information, the tools, the methods, the ways, the means we can use in giving dawah to others. For example, let me share with you this clip. Let me share with you this clip, but after the break, inshallah.